the song of our lament. We grieve a dry and broken land. Hearts have turned from your intent, and earth is ravished by our hand. Oceans weep for beauty lost, and forests plead for your return. Fields are drenched in tears and blood. All nature groans beneath sin's curse.
Hello and welcome to day 2 in our series of devotionals, exploring the stories of individuals in the suffering church worldwide. The last time Carter saw her husband was an ordinary day, or as ordinary as any day can be in Afghanistan since the Taliban takeover in 2021. Afghan citizens face daily restrictions, oppression and danger, and nobody more so than people like Carter and her husband Ehsan, not their real names, who are amongst Afghanistan's underground Christians. On that ordinary day, their worst fears came true. Ehsan disappeared. Carter was born into a deeply religious Muslim family. She expected to follow the same path as her mother, marry the Muslim man chosen by her parents, and raise a devout Muslim family herself. Sure enough, Carter married Ehsan as arranged by their families. She moved in with her in-laws and the union was very happy. Our relations at home were very good, she remembers. Everyone loved me, especially my husband, who loved me immensely. It was relatively common then for Afghan women to have jobs, something seldom now possible under the Taliban regime. Carter enjoyed working in an office and was close with her boss. We became friends and I felt free in front of her, Carter says. I shared all the stories of my life and she shared her life stories too. One day, Carter's boss made an extraordinarily brave decision. She gave Carter a Bible. In Afghanistan, even before the Taliban takeover, it was extremely risky to give a Muslim a Bible. It is illegal to convert from Islam and very dangerous to share your thoughts on faith. When Carter got home, she showed the Bible to Ehsan. They both knew the Quran thoroughly but didn't know what was in the Bible and were curious to find out. When I took the book home and started reading it with my husband, at first many questions came to our minds, says Carter. We solved those questions together. Under the law, women are second-class citizens and expected to obey their husbands or male relatives. However, Ehsan was kind and respected and trusted his wife. He loved me a lot, and we both always chose the same path, remembers Carter. When we read the book, my husband told me, whatever path you take, I am your best ally and I will follow you. Together they made the courageous, life-changing decision to follow Jesus. Having made this choice, Carter and Ehsan decided to get baptised. They couldn't do this in a church, of course. There aren't any church buildings in Afghanistan, but it was still a very special moment. She had suffered from bad headaches for years, but says from that day on my headaches disappeared completely and I am completely fine now. Carter and Ehsan knew that they had to keep their new faith secret from the authorities. They couldn't go to a church, worship aloud or wear a cross, but they didn't want to keep their faith hidden from everyone. Some secret believers around the world can't tell anyone at all about their choice to follow Jesus, but Carter and Ehsan decided to risk sharing the gospel with her family. They started with Carter's brother. He was anxious due to unemployment, Carter says. I asked him to learn stories from the Old Testament and he believed. Later I shared stories with my family and they all became believers. My husband shared stories with his sister and she became a believer. We continued spreading our faith. This courageous couple were seeing incredible fruit and had a period of joy, but their happiness was short-lived. Carter doesn't know how or when Ehsan's secret faith was discovered. They had been cautious only to tell people they trusted, but one day, when Ehsan was on his way to an underground Bible study group, she realised the secret must have got out. His phone was turned off and it didn't ring. I thought at first that maybe his phone wasn't working, says Carter. I also called someone from my family and there was still no news from him. I felt fear and all kinds of thoughts. As day stretched into night, Carter's fears grew. She didn't hear anything for 2 days, and then she received the news she'd been dreading. Ehsan's dead body had been found. Carter was absolutely devastated. She learned the huge cost of following Jesus in a country as dangerous for Christians as Afghanistan, but also believes it is worth that cost. I continue to be a servant of Christ, following his example of humility and greatness, she says. In the difficult Taliban regime, we face challenges, but with strong faith, we persevere. Today's reading is from Hebrews chapter 10. Remember those earlier days after you had received the light, when you endured in a great conflict full of suffering. Sometimes you were publicly exposed to insult and persecution. At other times you stood side by side with those who were so treated. You suffered along with those in prison and joyfully accepted the confiscation of your property because you knew that you yourselves had better and lasting possessions. So do not throw away your confidence. It will be richly rewarded. As we go through this week and think upon the stories that will be shared, let us consider the example of the faith, the courage, the perseverance, and the hope of the individuals we will be hearing about.
Lead us in your Eden call to live as those who bear your name. Show us how to love your world until the day you come again. Have mercy